Welcome back to day 14 of Shall We Games to Quarantine 2. Today might be our last day of our series, but we've got a huge array of free games to play across multiple genres and platforms. Some will be free, some will be free, everything is free. Apex Legends is a battle royale game set in the Titanfall universe. Much like the other games, it pits a group of players to be the last group standing as the playable area shrinks throughout the length of the game. A familiar sight to anyone who has played battle royale games in recent years. Apex Legends, in my opinion, has some of the best movement controls in any battle royale games. For those of you who had played Titanfall and Titanfall 2, you would know that the movement of the characters and mech in that game was a highlight. It was, at least for me. That attention to details carried over from the single player game to the multiplayer of Apex. Apex also has great sound design, and the care that went into the polish of the game clearly shows, and it is what makes the game stand out amongst its competition. The game has consistently received support from EA and Respawn and is now in its 5th season. Apex is a lot of fun, and the more serious art style is a plus for some. Though, as I mentioned, the movement in this game is what drew me to add in Apex to my list of games that I play. EA and Respawn has shown that they will continue supporting this game into the future as it has become popular once again, and they've been pouring money into its esports competitions. Apex Legends is available on EA's Origin game service. Warframe is a rags to riches story if there ever was one in the video game industry. At least in the West, Final Fantasy exists. A last-ditch effort by Canadian developers Digital Extremes paid off for them in the end. Warframe has become a behemoth in the free-to-play genre with constant updates and content drops, an expansive lore with an addictive gameplay loop, and a genuinely fair microtransaction system where all items that can be bought with real-world money is earnable in-game. Warframe is a mission-based first-person action-adventure game that you can solo or with 3 other players per mission, making use of guns, bows and arrows, crossbows, swords, hammers, pistols, sniper weapons across a huge range of designs, each with their own aesthetic, pros and cons, as you fight off waves of enemies from across multiple factions, learning their reasoning for fighting while you also uncover the secrets of the suit you wear, which are known as Warframes. Warframe has undergone a huge set of changes, both under the hood and visually, that make Warframe not just a blast to play but great to look at. With satisfying combat and movement, the game is one of those games that you just feel fun to run around in. A deep lore is there bubbling under the surface for those daring enough to look into it, while Digital Extremes has been making waves into getting into more cinematic quests out. Warframe is a great fun game that feels satisfying to play, with a strong vocal community and developers that not only listen but actively make changes to ensure the game feels fair to play, even in a free-to-play setting. Warframe is a game that you need to check out right now. Warframe is available on Steam. If you've ever played EVE Online, which is ironically also free, you would probably instinctively know exactly what Albion Online is. Albion is a cross between an MMO like World of Warcraft and EVE Online. There isn't any story in the game. You, the players, make the story as you go along. Markets, mining, crafting, faction wars are all player created. This is honestly what the game is truly about. Everything of value in this game is fully controlled by the players and guilds that populate the server. There are multiple servers that multiple guilds spread themselves across. A lot of the game, like EVE Online, happens outside the bounds of the game. You can either raid dungeons with your party or run the length of the game's world, killing and spawning rare mobs to get their drops to sell on the market or even craft even rarer items. Battle against other players in PvP to raise the ranking of your faction so your faction can claim top status. There's a massive number of things to do in this game, but you will need some help getting started. Transporting items from market to the next cell and getting ganked and losing all your money, it happens. Albion Online is available on Steam. Blizzard's MOBA. Despite the original MOBA being created inside one of Blizzard's own properties, it would take them many years after the fact to release their own version. To Blizzard's credit, Heroes of the Storm is a fantastic casual MOBA that is fun and enjoyable and far more accessible than some other MOBAs. Heroes of the Storm is balanced across multiple maps and dozens upon dozens of heroes that are pulled both from Blizzard's massive collection of IPs as well as a couple newly created heroes for Heroes of the Storm. Each map requires different playstyles and strategies, as each map has its own gimmick that changes up the look and feel of the game. Heroes of the Storm is all about teamwork, where every individual contributes to a shared experience pool where the entire team levels up together and gains new abilities and access to ultimates. Game fights to be balanced so that you do not spend hours in a single match. Most games in HOTS last roughly around 20 minutes, with more salient games taking up about 30 or so minutes. Heroes of the Storm also feature a significant comeback mechanic that helps the team losing win if they can play well and if the leading team missteps. While there has been some pushback on this mechanic, it does make the game feel a lot more fun to play. Heroes of the Storm is available on battle.net. Hey everyone, we've reached the midpoint, so if you'd like to see more of this, I have a huge playlist at the top right hand corner there. You can click on the card to view the playlist, which contains fighting games, open world games, trading card games, art, pixel art games. So be sure to check it out and stay tuned to the end for more. We have a lot more content in store. Alright, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification icon so you'll be alerted to when we release new videos. Okay, thanks, back to the video. Did you think, even in your wildest dream, that you would ever witness Tetris, a battle royale? Because that's what Tetris 99 is. You fight against 98 other players in a winner-takes-all deathmatch where your opponents can attack you with dead rows pushing up your entire board upwards. A frantic competitive matchup that keeps you on your toes during the entire match. Tetris 99 is amazing, and I am including this even though you require Nintendo Online to play it. Honestly, if you have the Nintendo Online free trial, give this one a shot. You get only those modes for free, with the couch co-op modes available via an eShop purchase. There isn't much to say about Tetris 99 except that the game is fun. Even if you haven't played Tetris in years, you should be able to take it up and play a few rounds, and trust me, you'll get absolutely crushed. Tetris 99 is available on Nintendo eShop as part of the Nintendo Online membership. I mentioned Starcraft 2 before, but it bears repeating. Starcraft is one of those franchises that has decades of legacy behind it. One of the more important video games in the esports scene, Starcraft 2 went free to play after the last expansion, Legacy of the Void. Starcraft 2 is a real-time strategy game that sees you pick one of 3 races as you start from zero each game in an attempt to outwit and outperform your opponent in economy, army, and strategy. Starcraft 2 is an incredibly well-balanced RTS game, easily one of the best real-time strategy games out there right now. Each race has been balanced and rebalanced for each pool of maps that they release every season. For free, you get to compete on ranked ladders and you get to browse the arcade, which is a host of custom games built inside the Starcraft 2 engine. It is genuinely a great experience, as there is a lot of fun custom games where you can easily waste your time in. If you choose to spend money, there's a host of cosmetics, from voice packs for the in-game sounds, skins for your army units and buildings, as well as you can buy co-op commanders where you and a friend can pair off together to fight increasingly difficult AI on select map with specific scenarios. Starcraft 2 went free to play after years of being buy to play. Starcraft 2 is a game you should definitely check out. Starcraft 2 is available on battle.net. The trading card game to end all trading card games. Magic the Gathering is a true legacy franchise that has been responsible for incredible innovations across the trading card game genre, both physical and digital, and has spawned a legion of copycats. While Magic has had several versions of the trading card game across multiple platforms over the years, it wasn't until Magic the Gathering Arena that they really came into their own. Arena is a definitive Magic the Gathering experience. I played their older games on the mobile phones and whatnot, and I can safely say that this version is the version you want to play. The game features a clean, clear interface that grants you all the information you'll need to actually play and keep track of what is going on. The game board, despite a lot of stuff going on, never felt overwhelming. The initial stages of the game also did a fantastic job explaining the core concepts of Magic and gives you the tools in a clear, concise manner that you can easily extrapolate it and just start experimenting with different decks and playstyles. One of the greatest draws of this digital trading card game over its competitors is the fact that the microtransactions are kept to a minimum, and if you're willing to put in the daily work of playing the game, it is very easy in a couple of weeks to get the meta deck. It is much easier to collect cards and build decks in Magic for free than in other games. I personally think this is one of the strongest, fairest, and better balanced trading card games out there right now. Magic the Gathering Arena is available for free on its own website. Dauntless is what Monster Hunter would have been if it were free. I mean, there's not much else to say. It is literally Monster Hunter but in a free-to-play setting. Dauntless follows a tried and true formula of go to town, get weapons, fly to the location of monster, fight monster, kill monster, loot monster, return to town. It is by no means a bad formula, since the developers put in a lot of extra charm and polish into the monster battles that really make the game fun and engaging. Though there is some tedium at times, it is par for the course for games like these. The game is pretty, no doubt about that. Each monster you battle feels unique and provide different challenges to overcome. The game clearly expresses to you when you've dealt major damage by altering the monster model, which is great as well. When I played the game, it lacked polish in the town areas and more general polish surrounding the game, especially in its menus and whatnot. But other than that, Dauntless was a fun time, and I know if you've enjoyed Monster Hunter like games, you'll probably miss some of the Monster Hunter polish, but Dauntless is great. Dauntless is available on the Epic Games Store. Destiny 2 is very similar to Warframe, another squad-based mission-style looter-shooter. In fact, when Destiny 2 was going through its growing pains, shedding its publisher and trying to regain footing as its own thing, the comparisons to Warframe was abound. Whilst looter-shooter comparisons are there, Destiny 2 has a massive open world with instant mission fields and a wide-reaching depth in plot and lore. It has far more story than Warframe had. There's a good chance that if you didn't like Warframe, you'd like Destiny 2. Destiny 2 had that AAA development for its initial phase, and it shows in the art, animation, storytelling and polish. As the studio continues to deliver new paid expansions, they've released a free-to-play entry point known as Destiny 2 New Light, perfect for players looking to jump right into the main content. Destiny 2 is available on Steam. And that's everything. This brings us to the end of Shelby Games to Quarantine 2. I hope you found a new game to play during this quarantine. I had a lot of fun during this series, and next time you hear me, we'll be doing a different series. So be sure to like if you liked it, dislike if you didn't, and subscribe for more of our series that's sure to come in the future. Thanks for watching.